I said, I think a week ago that this would be the best team that I'd ever coached against, and I stand by that. I think they're an excellent team and a phenomenal football program. Just a huge amount of respect for them and how they play the game. Super proud of our defense, how hard they fought. They only played 75 plays. I say only. It seemed like it was 150. The time of possession, we just offensively couldn't get first downs to get them off the field. But even just given that explosive early on, to hustle down there and prevent them from getting the end zone and then to hold them on fourth down. Tough spot for our offense to start the game off in, but just really, really proud of how hard our D fought. I thought that Jake Julian and gang and the punt team did a fantastic job. We knew he's special, and he proved it on Saturday night. So got to play a lot of people. Obviously didn't go the way that we wanted it to go, but they had a ton to do with that. So we got to go 1-0. We've watched the film. We've tried to learn, and going to try to rest a little bit today and get off to a good start for the school week, and then get ready for another huge challenge and opportunity, traveling out to play UMass.
Howard, Kyle, Dave, you want to lead us off with some questions?
Sure, Coach. What did you see when you watched the tape of UMass? What impressed you the most, and what are your biggest concerns?
Well, I think the first thing that our staff has said watching the film is how much better they are. We've studied the film from 20, which was when you look at our film, we didn't know we were going to play and all that. It's just they're a lot better than they were in 20. I watch more of their defense than I do of their offense, because I help out on the offensive side of the ball. But yeah, just that's the first thing. Obviously they've played two great opponents in Pitt and Boston College, and I think that's the number one thing that comes off the page is how much better they are than they were a year ago.
How do you prepare for their quarterback situation? Do you prepare for both of them, or do you just prepare for what they showed?
Yeah, it's a good question. You're always trying to figure that out. They're probably doing the same with us. You've got to be ready for everything, and at the same time, you want to try to deduce what they're going to try to do and who they're going to play, and put a plan together, against that personnel group. But you got to do it at every position. But when it's quarterback, offenses can change, both schematically, tendency-wise, emphasis, and so it always starts with that.
How does, I think your team and UMass did similar things where you're trying to play these really strong opponents early in the season. How does that help prepare your team for what's ahead of you being able to go to Wisconsin and play a team of that caliber?
Yeah, it can help you and it can hurt you. It's all how you respond to it. And I could argue that, when we went and beat those teams, that it hurt us as much as it helped us. It probably hurt our team in that we weren't able to respond in the following weeks in the manner in which we needed to. We couldn't handle success. And so now here we are, we lost to Kentucky last year and, lost, to Wisconsin. And so it's all how you respond. Are you going to learn and grow from it? And is it going to make you hungry to get better? Or are you going to get defeated by it? Those games are tricky too, because you want to play to win, right? You got to believe to win. You believe you can do it. You go out there and you try to win. And so there's obviously some frustration and disappointment. And so it's not, we don't go into those games thinking that we're going to lose and that it's not a big deal and that we're going to move on. We prepare to win. And so our football team for the first time this year, it's early in the season, is to deal with the frustration of losing and getting beat. So it's a really good question. It can just be answered both ways. As the leader, we absolutely want to learn and respond and know that, we're going up as good as there is in the country. And so anything that we did good, we can feel really good about. And, obviously when you go back and you watch the film, sometimes it's, one guy, not doing the right technique or, getting out of a fit. And you got 9 or 10 guys who are doing it right. And so there's still a lot of good, but, whether it's a tackle for a loss or a big gain out on the field, it feels devastating. But you go back and watch the film, and there's things that you can glean as a team when you're watching it on film of ways that you played well and continue to get better.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about David Carter and the importance of getting some of these Detroit kids, metro area kids?
Yeah, so, first of all, David Carter, here he is in his, redshirt freshman year or COVID freshman, whatever you want to call it. Such a weird freshman year, half a season, and, not being in class. And, we recruited him as a corner and have moved him to safety and have had some injuries there. And he has just gotten better and better and got to play and played a ton. And, he had the pick six. I think Greg said that it's like the third most yards on an interception return in school history. Just a great moment for him and really a great moment for our defense that had fought so hard all night long. He's from River Rouge, and Coach Corey Parker is an alum and head coach there. Has just done a phenomenal job with their program, and we've recruited River Rouge really heavy. We got multiple guys on our team from River Rouge, and David is off to a great start.
Thanks.
Tom?
What do you feel like?
No, go ahead.
What have you felt? Oh, sorry. What have you felt like the strengths of this team are? What are the things that you all try and lean on when push comes to shove?
With our team?
With your team?
Yeah. Well, I think it starts. To me, it starts with just the people in it. Who we are, how much we care about each other, how badly we want for this program to be successful, and I think that translates out on the field. You're not going to see our team give in or give up, and our guys believe that we can do what we've set out to do. So I think it starts with the internal, the belief, the relationships, the culture that all of us are now a part of. We've played really good defense, in my time here. I think it was in 18 that we were number one in the MAC. Fell off a little bit last year, but we've seen some really good signs in these first 2 weeks that our defense is going to be much improved. And we believe to win a championship, you got to play great defense. Coach Nethery and staff, they do an awesome job. And we've had to play a lot of people. But we want to run to the football. We want to be great on stop downs, and we want to limit explosives and play hard hat D. So I would also tell you that we're very, very, very proud and put a lot into our special teams. They're being led right now by our specialists, and Jake Julian, our punter I mentioned earlier, and Chad Ryland, and Steve Bird is our long snapper. But they're excellent, and they play at a high level, and our team knows it. And so any of us that are, playing on those teams take it really seriously and know that it has a profound impact on the game. And then, offensively, we're playing the two quarterbacks right now, but I'll tell you, we're really excited about the firepower that we have. And obviously it starts with our offensive line, and we want to be able to beat people on the run and in the air with equal proficiency, and we believe that we can do that throughout the year.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about just a couple of guys, for those of us out in the East who haven't seen you, a couple of guys on each side of the ball who we need to watch for on Saturday?
Well, go ahead. Is there somebody you want me to talk about specifically?
No, well, not knowing your team, just who
I got you.
a couple of guys that we should be keeping an eye out on.
Yeah, well, if we talk, about our interior D line, we've got a couple seniors on our interior D line, and Mike Smith Jr. and Marquaylin Scott goes by Woo. The leaders inside, and our defense, starts on the inside out, and those guys play really hard. They're tough to move. Terry Myrick is an inside linebacker for us who's been very productive and wore jersey number 0, which is a big deal on our defense this last week. He's also a senior from Atlanta. And then in the secondary, we've played a lot of people. Into the boundary. We've played and will play multiple corners. To the field, you'll see senior Freddie McGee, been a leader in our corners group. Offensively, we're playing 2 quarterbacks right now, so you've seen that in the first 2 games. Preston was our starter last year, and Ben Bryant was a transfer from Cincinnati and has been competing since he got here in January, and those 2 guys are a great 1-2 punch. We have a young group at running back, but even though we didn't run the ball for many yards at all on Saturday, we feel as though it's as good as we've been in my 8 years at running back. Wide receiver returned really a lot of production from last year and have done a good job recruiting. Have some transfers and some young guys who are already playing for us. And then again, our offensive line, we returned all of our starters from last year, and you're going to get to hear from last week's captain on offense, Mike Van Hoeven, here in a bit. And our tight ends, we play 2 of those guys. One is a Y and one is an H. Thomas Odukoya, who's a 2-time senior captain for us, and then Bryson Cannon. So those are some of the names that you'll hear on Saturday.
Are your quarterbacks the same guy, or do they bring 2 separate skill sets?
Yeah, they're. We don't have to change the offense for them, but they're not the same guy. They both have strengths, and try to accentuate those, but we don't change our offense with the quarterbacks.
Tom, any questions on your end?
Westmoreland got in there, provided some offense for you. Can you talk a little bit about his debut as a college athlete?
Yeah, so he got here in January, and Zach didn't play in the first week. Got to play some, this week, and really took advantage of his opportunity. Had a great slant there, and probably our most explosive play of the day. But just looked really comfortable and natural out there, and so yeah, he's a big body and has great body control. He's very sure-handed. And having been here since January now, he knows what he's doing, and so he's a threat, and we're sure glad we got him.
Thank you.
Anything else for Coach Creighton? Coach, before we bring up Mike, academics is a big thing in your program. He has been last year named an academic All-American, one of the few in Eastern Michigan history. What does he mean to your team on the field, but also helping them in the classroom?
Yeah, it seems like so long ago that we recruited Mike Van Hoeven out of Paw Paw. Had been on campus several times and saw him at camps, and just knew that he was the kind of person and player that we wanted in our program, and we were exactly right. I mean, he has been phenomenal on and off the field. You mentioned his academics. I don't know how many degrees he has now in this elongated career, but I don't know that he's ever gotten a B, both undergrad or in graduate school, and an academic All-American, and just sometimes guys are bright off the field, but it doesn't translate onto the field, and For Mike, it does. You know, he runs our O-line and makes calls and checks, and he doesn't get them wrong. Just a great leader. Like I said, he was captain this last week and honored his fellow 6-year senior, Jake Donelon, by wearing his jersey, and just a class act. I know that he's going to continue to lead us to greatness this fall.
Anything else for Coach before we bring him up? All right, we're good.
All right, Mike.
Mike, you want to start off with an opening statement? You heard a coach's comment. What have you ever gotten a B?
I think in undergrad I got 3 A minuses. I don't think I ever got a B, and then in grad school I got all A's. So
Pretty good deal.
pretty good, yeah.
Questions for Mike?
Mike, when you have 2 quarterbacks rotating in, how has that been for you as far as the cadence and making sure you know who's back there if things change? Is that something you have to be aware of as the game unfolds?
Honestly, with the guys that we have, it doesn't really change anything for us. Up front, we have total trust in either of them to get the job done no matter what. It's not like one guy's super mobile, another guy is just a pocket passer or anything. We're running the same plays, and like I said, we just have total trust in whoever's back there, regardless of who it is. So it doesn't really change anything for us.
No, I get that. I guess my question was more specific. Do they have a little different cadence? Like, do you have to be aware if they're switching as far as their timing on wanting to get you the ball snapped?
Oh, no. It's pretty
Okay.
similar as far as that stuff goes. There's nothing much that changes between that.
Okay. How did Alex Howie got the start next to you at right guard? How was it playing next to him in that game?
It was good. I love Howie. Howie's one of my best friends off the field too, so it was exciting to be able to play next to him. I know how hard he's worked for his whole time here, and he did a good job. Obviously, there's stuff that mistakes he made, mistakes we all made. Some stuff where it's going to get better as we kind of gel as a unit, but yeah, he did a good job. He was called on in a big game to step up, and he did a pretty good job.
Thank you.
What did you see out of the tape, the tape from the UMass game, and did they do anything that caught your attention?
From UMass, like Coach Creighton said, honestly, the biggest thing that we see is, in the offseason, I watched some of their tape from last year, and then looking at their stuff now, you just can tell they're a better team. They're 0-2, but that does not define who they are. You can tell they're a good team. They have a pretty good defense. They have guys that, we're going to have to be ready for. They kind of rotate through some stuff, run a couple different fronts, and we're going to have to be ready for whatever they have to throw at us. But, yeah, they're a lot better team than they were, and just excited for the opportunity here to play them.
Anything else for Mike? All right, if there's no other questions, we will let everybody go. Thank you for joining us, and Mike, thank you.
Of course. Thank you, guys.